It's my favourite time of year because everything becomes available, i.e. morels, in Norfolk asparagus. Just love them, really love them. Wild garlic, coming on to Jersey Royal potatoes. Everything just springs to life in spring. And I think this recipe is a recipe which, again, I think it's one of my go-tos for dodgy vegetarians. I don't mean that. For any, it's such a light starter. And I was in France a few years ago in a 3-star Michelin kitchen and saw this being prepared. And it starts off by being a herb pancake. So this is green because I've added parsley and chives to it. You could make it much greener if you wanted to, but then it almost looks false, I think. So I don't do that. Have your non-stick pan nice and hot so it doesn't stick. Give it a little tickle with a touch of butter. Not a lot, just a touch. Swirl it round. Once you're happy with the heat of the pan, put in your pancake mix. And you want a thin, lacy pancake. So swirl it around. This tells me the pan wasn't hot enough. So it didn't stick straight away. It doesn't matter, it'll still work. And you quite often always lose your first one in any case. Okay, so whilst you're making your pancakes, in here I'm making the base of a hollandaise. Okay, so it should be shallot. I didn't have any shallots, so I used spring onion. You probably should put soft herbs in, but I put a piece of thyme in there. But there's lemon juice, white wine vinegar, and white wine in equal quantities, so about a tablespoon of each. And you bring it to the boil and you reduce it slightly, okay? Put the hollandaise, 3 egg yolks into the base. Touch of salt, touch of pepper. Could add a bit of sugar if you wanted to, but I'm not. Don't try and attempt to turn your pancake just until you're happy that it's not going to stick. And you know what I'm like with pancakes. Okay, when you're happy that this is reduced, start your machine running. So, let it all emulsify before you start adding anything. Now, I have to say, Mr. Martin showed me a different way when I was with him not so long ago. He put the butter in first before the reduction. I always do it reduction first and then the butter. Just different ways people do things, or being shown how to do things. You always lose the first one, do you know what I mean? Make sure your pan is nice and hot before you attempt to do anything. Like that. Then let it go. Right, back onto here. This is reduced. Whilst you're adding your reduction, warm up your butter. Once your butter is hot, drizzle it in. And you only want to use the clear liquid off the butter. You don't want the milk solids. Now then, we've all split hollandaises in our time. Mostly when you do them by hand is when they're split. So the machine is much better and gives you much better finished results, and that you probably won't split it. we've got less chance to. Just shows you, doesn't it? If you don't have your pan hot, you'll mess it up. Hollandaise. Perfect. Coats the back of a spoon. Season up correctly. Okay, lovely. Now it's time to fry off the mushrooms and the asparagus. And what I've got here is beautiful black truffle. Swirl the butter around and fry them. Season them. They don't take long. And you know I told you about it, it's a good one for vegetarians. Forget that. So I'm going to add a touch of jus. Splash of cream. Mushrooms have a massive affinity with Madeira. Splash of Madeira. I'll tell you what mushrooms have a massive affinity with. Perfect. Don't cook them anymore. Keep them. Okay? Right. For the asparagus. Again, shallow fry it up. This is what I'm going to do. Just like in an emulsion. So it's a buttery and water emulsion. Remember what I tell you, anything above the ground into boiling, anything underneath the ground into cold. You can see I've just trimmed these off, just neatened them up a little bit, but that's my cheffiness. Okay. Into there. Cook them so they've still got a little bit of a bite to them. Okay. These don't take very long at all. Thing together. Grab your hollandaise into a bowl. A little bit of tomato. Quite often I'd use tarragon or even mint. And there's your hollandaise with tomato and chive. Asparagus done. Just let me sit in the emulsion. Take your asparagus. And your morels. Like so. And wrap them in the pancake. You can trim the pancake up if you want. Cheese. It's so important that you do have your pancakes nice and thin. Pop them in the oven for a couple of minutes, okay? So these have had only about 5 minutes in an oven, okay? Making you smile, and it's generally a good sign when I'm smiling about food. I think it's going to be all right. Hollandaise. Be generous with it. I'll get my little blowtorch. No, I don't. I get my big tomato. From the little one comes the big one. And then, for pure decadence, let's go for it. Now, I think that, a herb pancake with morels, asparagus, black truffle and sauce charon, that's all right, gotta say.